Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to look at my stock portfolio. I'm 19 years old and I've been investing for around 4 years now, since July 2020. So it's been quite a while since we started investing, but today we have around $65,000 invested so far for our total assets, and our total gain is around $17,000, or around almost 40% now. Our day's gain is $350, and today I'm just going to show you what I'm invested in, what my goal is for my portfolio, and beyond. So let's get into it. So my main goal is for retirement. For one day, this stock portfolio can pay for all my bills, pay for everything, so I don't have to so I can have financial success mostly. So my largest position in my portfolio right now is Apple, and I have around $12,000 invested into it at a total gain of $4,800, and I have almost 51 shares of Apple at a price paid of $139. So that's a pretty good investment. This was one of the first positions I've had in stocks, and it's the last price of Apple was $234, so that's pretty good. Total gain 67%. My next largest position, or my next largest total gain, is Microsoft, and I have around 21 shares in it at a price paid of $290. And as you can see, I'm up around $3,500 at 56%, and total market value of Microsoft right now, my position is $9,700, so that is pretty good as well. My next one is one that I've been trying to put most of my money into, and that is VOO. If you don't know, VOO is an ETF. An ETF is basically an exchange traded fund, which is basically one stock that holds many other stocks into it. So for VOO's case, it holds the top 500 companies in the whole US. So it holds the S&P 500, it holds Apple, it holds Microsoft, it holds Google, it holds Broadcom, it holds most of the positions I have right now. It holds Tesla. So it's just been growing since I've gotten it. I think I bought VOO around a year and a half ago, and I've just been trying to put as much. I've just been trying to buy as many shares as I can in VOO. I have around 21 shares in it at a price paid of $365. And its last price today is around $515. So that means my total gain just slightly above $3,000 today, and that's around 41%. So the market value makes it around $10.6 thousand just in VOO alone. And almost all my stocks as well, almost all of them, as you can see, have a 0.848, or a percentage of a stock, a fraction of a stock. And that is because all of these stocks besides Tesla pay me a dividend. And when they pay me a dividend, I reinvest that money back into the stock. And that is why I have 50.848 shares in Apple. That's because when they pay me that $10, I automatically reinvest that $10 back into Apple. So it buys me fractional shares of each company every single time it pays me. So my next one is Google. I have around 30 shares at a price paid of $104, and it's at around $186 per share right now. One of my highest total returns so far is at 79%, and a market value of $5,500. So that's pretty good. My next one is Broadcom, AVGO. It just recently had a stock split. It had a 10-to-1 stock split. So basically, when a stock splits, for example, 10-to-1, they give you 10 shares for each one share once it splits. So I bought 2 shares of Broadcom at around $857. Okay, and the stock split at around $1,700. So my total percentage return is just slightly under 100%, which is phenomenal. I'm sitting at around $1,700 in that just from 2 shares alone, and now since it's a 10-to-1 stock split, it's given me 20 shares, and it also paid me a small dividend. So Broadcom has been a good investment so far, and it's been paying me a dividend. So I'm just gonna keep on holding these stocks because they just keep paying me nice dividends, and I'm just gonna keep reinvesting them to get higher dividends the next time it pays me. So the next one is Lockheed Martin. I have 14 shares at around $376, and it's at around $464. So that's a 23% return, sitting at $6,600. So that's pretty good. Next one is Maine. Maine has a pretty high dividend. It's much higher than most of my positions in my portfolio so far. I have 35 shares at $36 price paid, and it's sitting at around $51 today. So that's a total gain of $500 almost. That's pretty good, 40%. SPHD is also another ETF. It's also an S&P 500 ETF. The difference between SPHD and VOO is it's much cheaper than VOO, as you could see. And also it has a much higher dividend yield than VOO. VOO, I think, has around 1% or less than 1% of dividend yield. And SPHD has around, I believe, 3%, 4%, 2 to 4% dividend yield. So that's much higher than VOO. So that means it's paying me more money per share for the dividend than VOO. So I like having a combination of these two, SPHD and VOO, because VOO is more like a growth ETF as well as a dividend ETF, but not much on the dividend, whereas SPHD is focused more on its higher dividend. As you could see, it says S&P 500 high dividend low volatility ETF, which means it has a higher dividend and less volatility, which means the stock price doesn't move too much, doesn't move as much as a stock, an ETF like VOO would. So I have around 73 shares at a price paid of $40. It's at $45 right now. I'm up around $400 in it. So it's been paying me nice dividends for a while now. I've had this position for around 2-3 years now, and it's been paying me good ever since. So the next stock is VC Properties, which, if you don't know what they are a REIT company, a real estate company that owns properties around Vegas, like casinos, hotels, and all that stuff around Las Vegas, Nevada. So I have around 92.5 shares at a price paid of $30, and it's just at above $30, so I'm barely up in that one. It's been taking quite a hit lately, but I've just been reinvesting. I've just been investing some more money into this one because it's a pretty good company that pays a nice dividend as well. I think it's sitting at around 4%, 5% dividend yield right now, so it's a great company that I think will do great in the future and in the years to come. Next one is Tesla. Tesla is my only position that does not pay a dividend. So for Tesla, I've had Tesla for years now, but last year I actually sold out of my Tesla position for a gain, which now looking back at it, I should have just held it. But I reinvested back into Tesla again. I bought 4 shares a couple months ago. But right now, as you can see, I'm down around $9 in it. But that was a mistake that on my end. I don't think I should have sold it. It's been growing ever since, and I really think this is one of the great companies that will be here for a long time from now. Next one is O. If you don't know what O is basically, people say, the monthly dividend company, the dividend king, basically. O was the first company I actually invested in, and I have around 44 shares in it at a price paid of $57, and it's currently at $55 right now. So I'm currently down in it right now around $75. But when I'm down in O, I just keep on trying to buy more shares at O, because it's a great company, a great REIT that's paying me a very nice dividend as well. And as the share price goes down in value, say it goes down from $57 to $55, the dividend yield on O, for example, will go up. So then I could reinvest more at that dividend yield, and it will pay me a nice dividend every single month. So I'm just gonna keep holding in O and keep investing, keep reinvesting those dividends into it, taking my average down, which is pretty good, and I think it'll go back up eventually. And my last position is Nike. Everyone knows Nike. It's one of the largest sportswear companies in the world. I have around 15 shares of it at a price paid of $113. It's currently at $71 right now. People have been getting pretty scared of Nike just not really growing as a company. But I believe that a brand like Nike, a company like Nike, they're what we call a moat, which a moat is basically like an Apple and a Microsoft or a Google, for example. They're like some of the biggest companies in the world that I really think that companies like this will be here with us in the future, and they're just going to keep on growing. They're some of the biggest companies in the world, and that's why people have been getting scared, because Nike hasn't really been growing they haven't been really matching other sportswear companies with growth, which is pretty tough for Nike because they're one of the biggest ones in the world. So it's pretty hard for a bigger company to grow rather than a smaller company. But I've just been investing some more shares into it. I think around 2 weeks ago I had 11 shares in Nike. Now I've bought 4 more shares these past 2 weeks, which has brought my average down from about 127 to 113 right now. So I've just been buying more Nike. I really think the future is bright for Nike, and they're one of my favorite companies, and they're also paying me a dividend. So every single time that dividend pays me, I'm just reinvesting that back in, which would also bring my average down for the share price. So I have about $1,100 in Nike right now. So in total, I have around $65,000 invested across 12 positions. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep on reinvesting dividends. I'm gonna keep on investing my checks into it from work. And let's go to our performance. Let's see our performance compared to the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow. As you can see, all brokerage accounts, around 23% compared to the 28.5% from S&P 500, 25% from the NASDAQ, and 15% from the Dow. This is our graph from around 3 years ago. As you can see, my purple line right here hasn't really moved because around last year at this time, I was still in my mother's brokerage account because I started this account in 2020 when I was around 15 years old, and you have to be 18 adult age to start your own. So I was still in my mother's account because of all that, but I later transitioned out of her account into my account, which is why this graph doesn't really show my graph moving up and down until right here when I moved it out. So as you can see, since that time, my brokerage account is almost close to 23%. It's been outperforming the Dow. It's close to the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. So you can't really complain about that. I mean, most people don't really see that, and I'm just gonna keep holding, keep reinvesting my dividends, keep investing as much as I can into it, so let's go to our historical value since around a year ago, I guess. So around last year, this account was worth $51,000 throughout all my assets. And it's just been growing and then going lower steadily. $47,000 in October as the low, all the way to my high of this month at around $64,000. So the range from my portfolio from the last year has been from around $47,000 on the low end to $64,600 on the high end. That is pretty good. Whether my portfolio goes up or down in value, whether I'm in the green or the red, it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna keep on holding my I'm still gonna keep on holding my assets because I think that these companies are great companies that I have very great feelings about in the future, you know. I really like these companies. I think they're going to perform great. They pay me a dividend. I'm getting passive income as I sleep. And as you could see, here's my estimated income from now until the next year. So let's go over here. It says around $1,450.94 in my estimated income from now to next July. And as you go down, I'm gonna show you from Broadcom right here. It says it's gonna pay me $106.94 in dividends every month for every fourth month. That is wrong because Broadcom just had a stock split, so they haven't gotten to this yet. But all we have to do is divide this by 10, move the decimal right here, and now it's at $10.70. So really, Broadcom is paying me $10.70 every fourth month of the year. So if you calculate that, that's around $43, $44 a year from Broadcom alone. So this $1,450 is really like a little less than $1,100 per year. So let's see that. For the next 1 month, my estimated income is around $50. So Main and O Realty Income are supposed to pay me. Main is supposed to pay me $8.70 tonight, actually, when I'm asleep. O is supposed to pay me $11.76 tonight when I sleep as well. And then on July 28th, SPHD is going to give me a dividend worth $9.49. And don't get this confused. I will not be taking this money and putting it in my bank account. I will be reinvesting these back into the company. So next time, Main won't be paying me $8.70. It will be paying me more than $8.70 next time because I reinvested. I'm getting more shares. So now more shares means every single time I get a dividend, it will be more than this amount. Unless they obviously slash the dividend or cut it. Next is Main again. But this time it won't be $8.70. It'll be a little more than $8.70. And it'll be a little more than $11.76. So my estimated income is around $50.41 in the next month. So the next 2 months, my estimated income is around $97.41 from dividends alone. So besides Main, O, and SPHD, two more companies will be paying me a dividend where they are Apple. Apple will be paying me $12.71 next month on the 16th, and Microsoft will be paying me on September 12th $16.10, which all of these combined will be around $97.41. So almost $100 in the next 2 months from not doing a single thing. Just by holding these stocks, they will be paying me a whole $100. So that is my portfolio review of today. Thank you guys for watching, and if you guys have anything to say about my portfolio, any tips on companies that you want me to review or to look at, to maybe invest in, or if you have any questions on investing or anything like that, please let me know. And I'm always eager to learn about more things about these companies, more things about investing. So feel free to let me know down below. And thank you for watching, and as always, we love you, and as always, put God first in everything you do. And thank you.